Welcome back to Operation Thunderclap. This is turn 12 for the Japanese. And it is January of 1942. Japan will have 2 tech dies to go for us. They're at radar. Currently at stage 2, and we're going to go for factories, which I don't even think's on the board. No, it's not. So try to get to stage 1 there. All right, we're a bit pressed for space here, so we might just set up the tray right here. All right, so we've got a red dice, that'll be radar, and black will be factories, so they're both at 7s. Oh shit, well that's no good. Well, that's 1 7. Let's see what the other one is for radar. Oh, also a 7. All right, so we get 2 7s, not a bad start. So let's go to stage 3 for radar for the Japanese, and we get on the board for factories. Reach on the other side of the stupid table. All right, let's get that out of the way. All right, diplomacy. Well, I don't see how we can even do diplomacy as the Japanese, which is a bit weird, but anyway. All right, let's get to purchases and then combat. So purchases with 69 in the bank after being rated for 1. Okay, so we're going to finish off our 5 heavy battleships for 6 apiece, so that's 30. Then we got these 4 militia for 8, and 3 more infantry for 9. We've got a light cruiser for 8, so we get 1 off for improved construction. 2 militia upgrades for, that's not 4, is it? That should be 8. Uh-oh, I've already gone south here. So let's add this up. So, and then 2 infantry for 6. So let's try that again. 30, 38, plus 9 is 47. Plus 8 is 55, plus 8 is 63, plus 6 is 69. Okay, so maybe I just bumped that dice. Let's do that again. 30, 38, 47, 55 for the light cruiser, 61 down here, and then the 2 militia upgrades. So we are right. Okay, 69. That's the lot. Combats. We've got a couple. A lot of walk-ons and then a couple rollers. All right, so first of all, we're going to raid here in P54. We're going to come down 1 into P64 and raid the Anzac line. At the same time, we'll be raiding here in P50. So that's our 2 raiders. And where else are we? For raiding, I think that's it. All right, our next battle will be in Sumatra, where we have the narrow crossing here. So 1 Marine is going to pop out off the card here in Malaysia and come into that battle. And at the same time, we've got the other narrow crossing down here. So that's the other Marine. Joining them off the card here in Malaya will be, let me just check my notes, 2 fighters. So they'll be with a movement of, they're coming out of an airbase, so it's not going to be an issue, but 2 fighters are going to be in there, and they will simply return back to Malaya when that battle's over. So that's another battle. Okay. Then we've got a walk-on. So where's all my markers? I've got a few of these. I knew I was grabbing something and then I got sidetracked and forgot. Okay, so from Komodo, we've got 1 infantry. So, sorry, from Central Mongolia, 1 infantry is going to step over into Komodo and take that. And that's going to be worth nothing. Okay. Then we've got the cavalry here with the movement of, let me just check my notes, otherwise I'm going to get myself turned around. Look at the cavalry from Karulan with a movement of 2. So the cavalry from Karulan, 1, 2, and we'll take Tanatuva, and that's worth nothing. And that's going to be that. Then we've got the motorized from Karelan, and that'll march forward into Oliastaria, whatever that one is. So with a movement of 2, so not going through the desert or the mountains, 1, 2, and we'll capture that for Japan. That's another one. Also worth nothing. Okay. Okay, so we talked about rating. I think that might be all of our combat movements per se. Siam. Oh no, one last battle for rolling. All right, so Malaysia, I was looking at it, and so Burma actually touches Malaya, as I see it, because it sort of wraps all the way around. So hopefully that's correct. So coming from Malaya will be 3 infantry marching forward into Burma, along with 2 infantry from Siam. So I'm going to just pop him on there. And then joining them in that battle will be, so it'll be the rest of this card here. So the rest of these aircraft, so it'll be 3 tacticals and 2 fighters, and they're just going to land back in Malaya on the card when that's all done. All right, so that is all the rolling battles. That's all the battles. That's all the walk-ons. Let me double check. All right, so let's get to our raiders first. So with the first rating in P54. Sorry, this is a bit of a funny angle today. So we've got the red dice will be, where are we? The red dice will be the Japanese, and the blue and red will be the Brits. And then we've got the ASW at 2. So this will just be evens, because we don't have radar, so it's just evens. So 3-2, nothing there, and no ASW with an 8. So that was P64 now into P50. So 4-3, nothing there either. And yep, the 6 misses on the ASW. So no result on the raiding front. Let's get to some battles. All right, so Sumatra is jungle. So on Sumatra defending, there is 1 Marine and 1 infantry. And then we've got the 2 Marines. So they'll be at 1s across the narrow crossing, and then up against with 2 fighters. So let's see if we can get the 2 fighters, if they can get the job done. So let's get 2 guys. So 2 fighters out of 6. A 2 and an 8. So he'll lose 1, which will be his infantry. And then we've got 2 infantry at 1 because of the mountains. Hey, we get a 1. How good. So that's our second hit. So he's got 2 at 4 coming back at me. A 6 and a 12 does miss. Hopefully you can... Is that a shitty angle? I might have to hang this off the edge a bit. All right, let's do that. That's a bit better. All right, so we take Sumatra with no casualties, and we kill that Marine and that infantry, and we return Sumatra back to Japanese hands. So I've got the Japanese back up to 55 and England down to 29 because that was taken by the Brits. And just put a rondelle on there. And those fighters will just land back onto the card in Malaya. So those 2 fighters. So we take Sumatra with 2 Marines. All right, so far, so good. All right, now let's do the Battle of Burma, which is the only other rolling battle, I believe. And so in there's 4 Gurkhas. They're in jungle, so they'll be defending at 5. And I've got a total of 5 infantry, So 3 came, so it's a total of 5 infantry myself. And then I've got all the planes. Okay, let's see what we can do. So let's start with the aircraft first. We've got 3 tacticals. Target select's not going to be an issue because there's nothing else. So we've got 3 at 7. And we get just 1 hit. So he's down to 3. Let's just use chips over here. So life's easier. So that was the tacticals. And then we've got fighters times 2. So 2 fighters at 6. I get 1 more hit, so that's another Gurkha. And then there is in jungle, there's no modifiers for infantry in jungle, they just fight normally. It's only vehicle class. So we've got 5 at 2. 5 at 2. We get a 1, that's a 5, we'll say that's 5. So we get 1 more hit. All right, so he's down to 1 Gurkha, so 3 casualties. Now coming back at me will be a total of 4 Gurkhas at 5. So 4 at 5. And he gets 1 hit. All right, so we will lose an infantry. So we're now down to 4 infantry, he's down to 1. Okay, air support definitely helps. All right, 3 tacticals at 7. And 1 more hit, so that's the last hit we need. And then here's Gurkha at a 5. And 8 misses. All right, so we kill those Gurkhas and we take Burma back with 4 regular infantry. Burma is worth $1. So we'll put ourselves up $1. So we go to 56. And the FEC will go down to 8 because that's an FEC held territory. All right, the fighters all fly back. So the 3 tacticals come back to Malaya, as does the 2 fighters. So the air force goes back and done there. All right, that's all our rolling battles. Yep. All right, let's do some non-combat. There's not actually a ton, believe it or not. So first of all, we're going to start with the task force down here in P73, and that's going to come out of a major port. So we're going to collect the Marine off the North Island. I don't need a rondel, I've already got one there. And they're going to come at 1, 2, and we're going to drop the Marine off in New Guinea. So the 2 destroyers. The light carrier with a tactical. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think it can make it. All right, so that'll be the coming from P73 to P64 will be heavy cruiser, light carrier with a tactical, fleet submarine. Well, that was already there, and 2 destroyers. The Marine is dropped off in New Guinea, and that's that. Then we've got, I'm going to do an amoeba move. So we've got 5 infantry here in Rihe. So 5 infantry go to Suyon, and then from there, from Suyon, 5 infantry will go to Central Mongolia. Yep, Central Mongolia, that's right. That's them. Okay. From Kruellen, 1 mountain infantry is going to go across to Central Mongolia. 1 cavalry will go to Central Mongolia, as will 1 artillery. 4 infantry and a medium armor will slide over to Western Manchuria. And they'll move to there. Just check what else I wanted to do. Okay. The strategic bomber that's in Kyushu will fly to Rihe with a movement of 6. 1, 2, 3 is into Rihe. Hanging out there. And I think we're almost done. We get to place units. Pretty quick turn, this one. Okay. All right, let's place units, because everything else is going to pretty much stay put for the moment. All right, so let's place our battleships first. So all of our battleships will go into P15. So those heavy battleships will go into P15. What a mess. just at sea. I don't think anyone's going to amphibiously assault from there. Then we've got the light cruiser. That also will go into P15. Three infantry, which we will place. One into Rehe. Oh boy. One into Rehe, one into Kwang Tung, and one into Malaysia. I did remember, all right, what did I want to do here? If he wants to fight in Yunnan, he can, I guess. Yeah, whatever. All right, then we've got our 4 militia. One into Luzon and the Visayas, one into Mindanao, one into Celebes. Where did I want to put that other one? Oh yeah, one into Karelin. Let's go there. If he wants to fight for it, he can. Then we've got our militia upgrades. So the first one will go to I wonder if I can get into Karelin. There's no, I don't know if I can. All right, first militia upgrade will go into Rehe. Second one goes into Malaya. Then we've got 2 more infantry left, which will go into Kyushu. And that should be everything. All right, let's do income and then a quick unit recap. So I have the Japanese at 56 with a base, and then we've got bonuses of Beiping, Hopei, Shantung, Nanking, Kwangtung. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. So that's 61. Solomon Islands is 62. Malaya 63. Borneo 64. Java 66. And then we've got Luzon and the Visayas 68. So that should be correct for next turn. How did I go down? Doesn't make sense. 68. I took Burma back. I'll lose something somewhere. I don't know if that's right. 68. I don't remember losing any territories. Okay. All right, well, we'll check that for later. All right, let's just collect 68 for now. So that's that. And I'll do a unit recap. Let's just, you know what? Hasn't got any bombers. Yeah, no, that should be right. All right, so at sea, let's put this destroyer at sea as well. Oh, that's what I want to do, is move this coastal sub P22 one back into P27. And I'll probably move this seaplane back out to Okinawa and chase this coastal sub next time. It wasn't in range this time. All right, let's do a quick unit recap. I'll stop blabbering away. So Primorsky, 1 militia, Amur, 1 infantry. Northern Manchuria, 1 infantry. Western Manchuria, 4 infantry and a medium armor. Rehe, 1 strategic bomber, 1 airborne, 2 infantry. Suyon should be 6, 8, 9 infantry, 1 militia. Krellin, 1 militia. Central Mongolia is 5 infantry, 1 cavalry, 1 mountain, 1 militia. This one here, Ulia Stai, is a motorized. This one here, Kobdo, is an infantry. Tanituva is a cavalry. Beiping militia. Import in Rehe are 2 transports. In Shantung, 1 militia. Nanking, 1 militia. We've added an infantry into Kwangtung, and the rest of the ships are in port. So in Kwangtung, we've got 5 infantry and a medium armor. Yunnan has 1 infantry, 1 militia. Luzon and Visayas militia, Mindanao militia, Borneo militia, 2 Marines on Sumatra. Java has a militia, Lesser Sunda Islands militia, Celebes a militia, Dutch New Guinea militia, New Guinea a Marine, Solomon Islands a militia, and nothing in New Zealand. P-64 has 2 destroyers, 1 fleet sub, 1 light carrier with a tactical, 1 heavy cruiser, 1 light cruiser. Marshall Islands militia, Bonin militia, Volcano Islands militia, Okinawa militia, seaplane. Kyushu, 2 infantry, in port, 1 transport. At sea, 5 heavy battleships, 1 light cruiser, 1 destroyer. In port, in Tokyo, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser. At sea, P-16 coastal sub, 4 infantry in Tokyo with a fighter. What do I do with that fighter? All right, the fighter's going to fly to Rihe. Sorry about that. So the fighter's now in Rihe from Tokyo with a movement of 4, 1, 2, 3. Actually, we'll just land him in, we'll land him in Rihe. 1, 2, 3, 4, he can land in Rihe. All right, in port in Kwangtung is the fleet of 2 battleships, 1 battle cruiser, 2 empty fleet carriers, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 2 TBDs, 1 transport. In port in Malaya, 1 destroyer, 1 TBD, 2 transports. At sea, and P-50 is a fleet submarine. And hopefully, Burma, we have 4 infantry, Siam 1 militia. And hopefully that's the lot. Let's not forget our lone wolf up here. 1 Marine in Alaska. All right, hopefully that's everything now. I'll turn it over now to Pants J for the Commonwealth and France. Thanks for watching.